Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to build a fun dice roller app using Jetpack Compose. The app allows you to press a button and roll a dice with the UI displaying the corresponding dice face. It's a simple project, but a great way to demonstrate how Jetpack Compose handles state management and UI updates. I'll also show you how to debug the app in Android Studio so you can really understand what's going on underneath the hood. Alright, let's jump in. Here's how the app works. You see an image of a dice and a button labeled roll. When you press the button, it rolls a dice, giving you a random number between 1 and 6. The dice face image updates automatically to reflect the result of the roll. Let's hit the button a few times and see it in action. You'll notice how the dice face changes with each new roll. Simple but an effective way and a great way to explore state management in Jetpack Compose. Now let's dive into the code. We start with the main activity class, which extends component activity. In the onCreate method, we call setContent to define the UI for the app. Instead of using XML layouts, Jetpack Compose allows us to declare our UI directly in Kotlin, which makes the entire process a lot more intuitive. We wrap our content inside Dice Roller theme to ensure the app flows material design principles. This takes care of styling, colors, and theming, making our app look more polished right from the start. The main functionality lives in the dice with button and image composable function. This function defines both dice image and button in the UI. First, we create a mutable variable result initialized to 1 using Jetpack Compose's remember function. This allows the app to remember the state, in this case the result of the dice roll, across recompositions. Every time the user presses the button, we update the result with a random number between 1 and 6. Next, we use a when expression to select the corresponding dice image resource based on the value of the result. For example, if the result is 1 when we display the image for dice 1, and if the result is 6, we show the image for the dice side. Building the UI with column. The UI layout is built with column composable, which stacks elements vertically. First, we display the dice image using the image composable. This image that gets displayed depends on the current dice roll result, and the content description is set to the result number for accessibility purposes. Next, we add a spacer to create a little bit of vertical space between the image and the button. Below the spacer, we have the button composable. When the user presses the button on the on-click callback, it is triggered and we update the result variable with a new random number. Jetpack Compose automatically re-renders the UI with the new state showing the correct dice face. This declarative approach really simplifies UI updates. Now, let's take a quick look in how to use the debugger in Android Studio to understand what is really happening behind the scenes of our app. To start debugging, place a breakpoint in your code. For this app, I'll place one inside the button composable's on-click handler where the dice roller happens. To add a breakpoint, click the gutter, the left margin, next to the line of code where you want to pause execution. Here on the line result 16.random. Once the breakpoint is set, click the debug button. It's the little bug icon next to the run button in the Android Studio. The app will start in debug mode. In the debug panel, you'll find various tools. The step over lets you move to the next line of code without going to function calls. Step into will let you dive into function calls, useful if you want to see how specific functions work. And the resume program allows the app to continue running normally after the breakpoint has been hit. Here is where you can find the different functions. Right here, if you see the debug on the left hand side of my screen, if you just move slightly to the right, you'll see the buttons we just talked about. This is a great way to inspect how the dice roll logic works, as you can watch the state change in real time and verify that the correct dice face is being shown. We also use the preview annotation to quickly preview the layout without deploying the app to a physical device or emulator. This is one of the best features of Jetpack Compose. You can tweak the UI and see the changes in the design editor immediately, which really speeds up the development progress. And that is it. We've built a simple dice roller app using Jetpack Compose, and you've also explored how to use the debugger in Android Studio to better understand what is happening with our code. By setting breakpoints and inspecting the app state, you can troubleshoot and gain deeper insights into how your app functions. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials in Jetpack Compose and Android development. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.